Yes, yeah.
A moment in prison where that kind of like made you a moment in prison that kind of made you scared.
Well, you know what? I'm gonna be honestly truth with you.
Yes, the whole
Yeah,
interview.
honestly truth with you. The only thing that made me scared was the damn gun man. I mean, the rest of that stuff, like I raised up in the streets. I'm straight up from the ghetto. So what they was doing already, what they was doing in prison, I done all that, but on the street. See, I mean, that's the difference. That was the difference between me and in prison. That's how I survived. I survived off of my street skills and my knowledge. That's how I survived in there. So yeah, I had scary moments, you know what I'm saying? But I had backup, I had scary moments, but my main thing was the gun man.
Right.
People on the floor, you know what I'm saying, I wasn't too worried about that too much. You know, because I know how to protect myself. I protect myself. I can protect myself better than anybody else. I mean, and I know this. So I watch my back. And I have a few brothers that's out right now that have watched my back in prison that I still kick it with right now today. I don't know them. I don't actually be with nobody, and none of these brothers out here that haven't done time with. Right? I don't get along. I'm not saying I don't get along with a lot of these guys out here, but I don't trust them.
Right.
And I don't trust them, and you know, it's just hard for me to trust them. And like I said, I'm still suffering from PTSD, right? And I know I got that.
Yeah. Right.
I know it. And see, when you know you got it, you can work on it. And that's what I'm doing. I'm working on that. And it's hard for me because, like I said, when I go to bed at night, I still think I'm in prison, right? It's rough, but like I said, going back to scary moments in prison, yeah, the gunman was the only one I was really, really scared of because they'd gun you down and they'd be right back.
Find a reason to. Would they probably try to find a reason just to shoot you guys in there?
Well, blacks really had it hard.
Of course.
Yeah, we had it hard. We had it hard in everything we do, really. And that's not. It's not saying that. It's no excuses, nothing like that. It's just a reality.
It is.
Right. But what's going on is this. I done seen gunmans on the gun tower, right? Mexicans get into it 30, 40 yards away, and they shooting a black. 40 yards away, and the thing's right down here by them, and they shooting a black.
Right.
Yeah, so, you know, and then you shoot a black man for a fist fight. I lost a few, you know, up in Corcoran. And you guys heard the Corcoran story. I lost a few friends up in Corcoran with the fist fights. And you don't kill nobody over no fist fights.
To the gunman.
Yeah,
right.
Gunman gun him down for a fist fight. I got a friend just got out. He's been out maybe 5 years now, right? I'm gonna say his name. His name is Memphis. I'm not gonna say his real name, but his name is Memphis. That was the last guy I know that got shot. He was one of my chess partners. We used to play chess all the time, right? And he get into it on the yard. He was laying down. They got down, they prone out, and everything like that on Corcoran Yard, right? And I don't know what happened because he explained to me a little bit, but he said he moved and the gunman gunned him down. But you know, with God's will, he lived.
Right.
He lived to tell about it, right? And he's out of prison right now, doing good for himself. But they was the main problem I was scared of, really, because the rest of the stuff, I know God got my back.
Okay, so this may sound like a crazy question, but is there anything positive that you can say that you got from prison, whether it's experiences or right now?
Yeah, a whole lot of positive stuff.
Everybody in the room was like, yeah.
I mean, look, it's like this. Man, thank God for prisons.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Thank God for prisons. I'm glad they got prisons. Because if they didn't have no prisons, man, it'd be messed up out here, really. I mean, like I said, I used to hate police. I used to hate their guts, right? And I had reasons. Because when I was like 11, 10, they used to a little bit before that, probably about 8. They used to let us play in their police car and all that. We used to run it back and forth out their police cars. But the minute I turned 13, same police used to let me and my friends and my brothers play in their police cars. Had the same ones, had my same ones, same guys I be with, prone out in the middle of the street. Same police.
Right.
So this is one of the reasons why I had authority issues, right? But like I said, I got over that. I still got it, but I got over it.
So what else did you get from prison?
Okay, no, yeah, positive thing. What I got from prison, I learned how to conduct myself as a gentleman, right? I learned how to be a man in prison, right? My father left me when I was 5 years old, but he was there, but he wasn't there, right? But what I learned on my own and through my uncles and them, right, and through street experience. So they say experience is the best teacher,
Yeah.
you know. So, and that's what I learned. I learned all that from there. But positive things I learned how to read. Because when I went to prison, I was slow on reading. I got my GED, I got a degree in businesses, right? And I created a thing called Reconstruction of the Criminal Mindset, which I spoke about earlier. I'm saying that's dealing with changing your mindset. It was dealing with taking the criminal thinking and reversing it, right, to something positive where you can get out and you can be productive in society, right? Be productive in society. But the only way you actually be able to do that and actually stick to it, you have to start from the beginning. You have to start from the beginning. It's called basically what goes on with reconstructing the criminal mindset is that it's a nurture versus nature thing. And what I mean by that is that when we're children, a lot of criminals today. I'm not speaking on these blue collar crime guys that's up there, and
right.
I'm not speaking of them. I'm speaking of these guys that's down here with me on the low, supposed to be the low bottom, right? Having to raise up with parents at 2-parent homes and have the big house and the cars and all that. You got sons and stuff goes up being criminals, they be embezzlement and all that kind of stuff, right? But I'm talking about like street crimes and stuff like that. But what happened is that a lot of children, like myself, was traumatized. I was traumatized, and for some reason was the mothers might have been alcoholics and drug dealers, right? And they had 5 or 6 brothers and sisters. They living in a 1-parent household. And mothers, she found it hard to raise all of them. She's on what they call as a public assistant, right? And she barely can feed them. So, and and they living in a gang infested neighborhood with pimps and hoes and
drugs.
Yeah, drugs, pimps, hoes,
Yes.
drugs, and all this kind of stuff. So they being raised up with this kind of stuff, seeing this stuff every day, and seeing bodies, and seeing people getting killed, gang banging, and drive-bys and stuff like that. So that's traumatized for a child.
Where did you grow up at, Johnny?
Well, my mother was like what they say a gypsy. So she moved. We lived in everywhere in L.A.
Okay.
Right, everywhere in L.A. and that helped me out.
A gypsy, I'm taking it as a person that just keeps moving around.
Someone like a nomad, right?
Okay.
She had nomad in the blood. But what I was saying is that helped me a lot, right? It helped. And the reason I say it helped a lot because when we was young, and the reason why she done that is because she was abused by my baby sister's father, right? And that's part of how I got traumatized too. She moved a lot, and when she moved a lot, she moved in every neighborhood you could think of out here in Los Angeles, in Compton and Watts and all that stuff, right? So she was trying to get away from the good, get away from my sister's father, right?
Okay.
So the advantage that I had on this is that when we moved, right, we had a lot of friends, right? We moved a lot of friends in this neighborhood, right? We move out that neighborhood, we meet friends over there, we got to move to go to school there, get in a fight with the king of the school here, things like that. That's what was going on back then when I was at elementary school. When you go to a new school, you got to fight. You got to fight the king of the school, and you got to fight the next dude, you got to fight the king of the classroom, all that kind of stuff, right? So this is the type of stuff I was going through, right? So I say that to say this, is that when we moved, like I said, we moved around different neighborhoods. So by the time we started getting around, everybody started growing up, and then they started having the Crips and the Bloods, right? They had the West Side and then the East Side. Then all this stuff started separating, right? It started separating the blood. They started calling themselves certain things, bounty hunters and all this kind of stuff. Bounty hunters and Pyrus and and families and Denver Lanes, and it goes on and on. And the same thing with the Crips. It said East Side, West Side, it was A-Trays, Rolling 60s, and 40s.
Too many to name.
Yeah, a whole lot. You're right, a whole lot. They start separating themselves. But the thing about it is, majority of them neighborhoods, right, my mother lived in. And I was raised up with a lot of guys. So, actuality, whether they were Bloods or Crips, right, I can go over there. Because I was, we raised up together. A lot of we used to have rock fights and all that kind of stuff that we used to do when we were a child. We didn't have these computers and all that kind of stuff. We used to have rock fights and bottle fights. Yeah, it was rock fights, bottle fights, and shooting each other with BB guns and things like that. That's the stuff we was going through, right?
I wanted to, I'm sorry, but before I forgot, I wanted to ask you about the initial feeling when you were sitting in court, going through the trial and understanding what kind of time you were facing. When it was all said and done and the judge said, boom, 34 years at the age of 22. Did you have any kids at that time?
Yeah, I had a son.
A girlfriend? Like, how did that hit you at that initial, if I could take you back?
Okay, first I didn't have a girlfriend. I had a son, me and his mother broke up. Right, so we was already done. Right, so my son was 2. And when I was sitting in court, it was like unbelief. Right? It seemed like I was felt like I was in another world. Really. Felt like I was high. Really. But I understood what was going on, but it felt like I was in a whole another world. Right? And I'm listening to the judge, I'm listening to my lawyer, and I'm just sitting there listening, right? And it's like a state of unbelief. And I'm telling my story, but they don't want to hear it, right? The DA, he coming with his shenanigans, which I'm not mad at him because he got a job to do. He want to convict, but the thing about it is this.
Did you have a public defender or you had?
No, I had a lawyer.
Okay.
Yeah, he proved to be a dump truck for real, you know. And once I got to prison, I started backtracking because I had to fight my case. I started fighting my own case, and this is where I really started getting into the law. Because I had to go in the library every day and try to fight myself out that box that I was in. Right, which was hard, and they denied everything I shot at them except extension of time.
Okay, but what was that feeling when the judge?
That feeling? Man, it was a horrible feeling. I think they knew. It's crazy because the evidence, right? Evidence actually didn't really show my guilt, right? And the DA, like always, if they got favorable evidence, they normally will withhold that stuff if they can get away with it. And that's what they did in my case, right? They held a dying declaration, right, for the victim, actually saying he didn't know who shot him. Because he lived. He lived in the hospital for like maybe I think a month or 2 and was talking and all that stuff.
And came to court?
No, he died in the hospital.
Okay.
He died in the hospital.
Right.
And I think the hospital actually killed the man, really. Because he lived there. He lived for a while, but he died in the hospital. He not once named his victim, right? And the cold part about this, the trick about this is that I knew the guy. All right? I personally knew this guy that got killed. And you living in a hospital, if you get shot, I mean, this is money. If somebody came up to me that I know, right, and put a pistol out on me, and I'm with people, I'm gonna let these people know that I know this guy, right, and I'm gonna confront him because I think something wrong with him. You know, I'm gonna call his name and everything else. I'm gonna think something wrong with this guy. You know what I'm saying? So I'm gonna say, man, you all right? You know, what you doing with the gun, man? You know, I'm gonna front him off. So that never happened. Never happened. Then he lived in the hospital. When he got shot, the police came up. They took a declaration from him, asked him, do he know who did it? And he didn't know. He didn't know. So yeah, so some kind of way they hooked me up. They hooked me up because of I got picked out of a paper lineup. They looked at my background, seen how I was, which I was a bad actor. I fit the profile. I fit the profile, so bam, there it was there. Yeah. So my profile wasn't a good profile. So therefore they had a man. You know, they had their man. So only thing they have to do after that is work the court. And in the courtroom, right? How it goes in the courtroom is it's just like theater, theatrical stuff in the courtroom. Whoever got the best story, whoever can act the best, the DA or the lawyer, that's who's gonna win. Right? So in my case, the DA was a better actor than my lawyer. And he appealed to the jury. And the jury bought his story. Right. The judge didn't, because the judge said, you know, at the end, he said, well, our system is not perfect.
Well, the system is not for blacks either.
Yeah, and this is what he told me. He said, man, our system is not perfect. Just come back on appeal. All right? That's what he told me.
That's crazy.
Yeah, the judge told me our system is not perfect. Come back on the appeal. Right? I said, well, okay, what's appeal? I already know it, but I just asked him what's appeal. He said something that you put in court after your conviction. He said, your lawyer got 10 days to file a notice of appeal. Right? If you got it within 10 days, then you have to file a writ of habeas corpus. After that, then you just go from there. So that's what I did. I filed it, and nothing went wrong. Everything went wrong. From that point on, from the time I got out, they denied everything I said in that courtroom except extension of time. And they'll give you that.
So after 34 years in prison for a crime that you didn't commit, what what do you come out into this new world and do? Like, what does one do when you spend so much time, over half of your life in prison, and then you get out and do what exactly?
Well, first of all, I'm gonna get out and enjoy my life. That's what I'm gonna do. Get out and enjoy my life regardless.